it's Jo, and I'm here at the Senior Center in Jackson Hole. This is our 9 a.m. Yoga for Strength class, and I hope that you guys have been enjoying the first video I did a few weeks ago, Yoga for Strength. So now you'll have 2 videos to do, so now you got another choice. Remember, it is Yoga for Strength. We use yoga postures to create strength and stability in our practice, and then we also use hand weights so that we incorporate some strength work in with our yoga practice. Hopefully you guys have been getting outside a lot more and maybe not spending as much time inside doing your workouts. So this class, I like to use this format because it's such a good, efficient use of your time. Okay? So hope you guys are doing well. I see lots of you guys out on the trails now, both biking and hiking, and that's a good thing. so I miss you, and hopefully I will see you sooner rather than later. But let's go ahead and get started. You need your hand weights. If you don't have weights at home, you can also use a couple cans of soup when we do our strength exercises, and you can also do the exercises without weights because you still get a lot of benefit just using your body weight. Make sure you got your mat and you got a water bottle too. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and it is an hour class, so let's get moving. Go ahead, take your mat and place it perpendicular to mine so you can see me for now. And we're going to start with Tadasana, our most fundamental standing posture. Look down, make sure the feet are parallel, and also that the feet are about hip width apart. That's we call this our base of support. So this is our most stable base of support is when the feet are hip width apart. Look down, spread the 10 toes, press the toes down, press the heels down, look straight ahead. Now glide your throat back, and what that does, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my profile. When we say glide your throat back, what that does is it just puts your head, the weight of your head, right over your shoulders. And it's so much more comfortable position for the shoulders and the neck. So again, the throat glides back, head over the shoulders, turn the palms forward, press the feet down. Now let's take our first deep breath of the practice. Inhale through the nose, bring the arms up, hold the arms up. Now exhale through the nose and let the arms return down beside the hips. Pause here. So as we begin to move this morning, we want to try to coordinate the breath with the movement. And what that does is that allows us to decrease tension in the body as we work. The opposite of that would be to say, hold the breath while we move, and that will actually increase the tension in the body. And we don't want more tension. We want less tension as we move. So again, we want to make sure we breathe. We inhale through the nose, we exhale through the nose, and I will remind you to breathe as we practice. So reconnect the feet, press the feet down. Make sure that the shin bones are slightly forward. Feel how strong the legs are. Draw the navel in towards the spine, and that will engage the abs, and that's so challenging because this area tends to be inactive as we move. So once again, we want to engage the abs by pulling the navel in towards the spine. Arms down to the side again. Give the shoulders a lift. Take the shoulders slightly back. Now feel the shoulder blades actually move down the back just a touch. So we feel as if the shoulders are level, kind of neutral is the way we think about it. So we're not like this, because we're like this when we're at our computer. So we're not like this, and we're not like this, because that's a lot of tension in the neck. So it's a very neutral position. Shoulders are level, shoulders are back, and the shoulder blades slightly down the back. Navel draws in. We feel those abs wake up and engage. Palms forward, and let's take our second deep breath. Inhale. And exhale, float the arms down. And let's do that 2 more times. Again, coordinating the movement with the breath. We inhale, we move, we exhale, we move. Inhale, float the arms down, and let's do that one more time. Inhale. Now hold the arms up. Exhale fully. Take those shoulders back, and you'll feel all kinds of tight spots in the shoulders. Hold. Now let the arms come all the way down. Separate the feet into more of an athletic stance. So we're going to drop into our first squat position of the practice. I'm going to turn this way so you can see my profile. And you're going to feel the muscles in the hips wake up. And you're going to feel those thighs. And you'll also feel tightness in this area, and that's completely normal. But what we don't want to feel is a lot of stress in the knee joints. So we want to get the work and the movement into the back and the hip area and away from the knee joint. Look straight ahead, shoulders back, slightly down. Engage those abs, pull in, but don't hold your breath. And you're going to drop into the first squat position and hold. Imagine a chair back there. Press those toes down, press those heels down, and we're going to do 5 pulses. And by pulsing, we mean small movements, and you'll feel the muscle action in the hips. Pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold, hold. Now we're going to get the core more involved. That's the abdominal area, the low back, and the waistline. Pull your abs in. Now you're going to reach out. It's as if you're reaching out towards somebody who's holding their arms out in front of you. Now hold the position, hold, and notice how we have to use those abdominal muscles more, otherwise we feel stress in the low back in this position. So pull your abs in, now press your feet down, come all the way up, shoulders back, and we're going to do that again. Take the arms out. This time turn the thumbs up and lift the upper arm bones a little bit, so we're going to make the pose a little bit more challenging. We call this Utkatasana zigzag. So we're going to drop into that squat position again. Hips drop way back. It's as if there's a chair there. Now look forward. Now keep your chin parallel with the floor, because we're just warming up. So you're going to start to feel the tightness. Now pulse again for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press your feet down. Belly in strong. Come all the way up. Bring the arms down. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Float the arms down. Bring your feet in hip width apart. We're going to wake up the brain a little bit, move into our first one-legged balancing pose. And one of the biggest goals of this practice, of this Wednesday morning class, is we want to really improve and create more balance in the body. Because when we have a body that's more balanced, we're less likely to fall. And since we're at the senior center, myself included, we do worry about fall risk, especially now that you're hiking and you're out on the trails more, and you're biking and so forth. Also, too, if you do fall, then you're less likely to injure yourself. So the balance part, creating more balance in our practice is critical. Press the feet down, look straight ahead. You're going to bring the arms up. Now you're going to shift your weight to the left, and then bring your knee up, and we're going to hold. This is one-legged mountain pose, and just hold. Now breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Now pull your right hip back. Hips are square. Now we're going to say hello to your right hamstring. Straighten that leg and bring that leg in. And this is a very challenging move here. Can you guys feel that right hamstring and your right thigh? Let's do 4 more kicks. 1, breathe. 2, press that left foot down. 3, and 4, and in. Bring your foot down. Bring the arms down. Now we're going to activate the upper body a little bit in our Utkatasana chair pose again. So you're going to take the back of the arm, the tricep, and you're going to press back. Roll the shoulders back. Now press your hands back. So imagine a wall back there. So you're beginning to activate this tricep area as we do our squat position or Utkatasana pose. Drop the hips back and down. Hold the pose. Breathe. Breathe. Now pull the belly in strong. Lift those triceps more. Hold 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's the challenge. We're going to rise up right into one leg Tadasana. Come all the way up, knee bent, and breathe. Now really press that right foot down. Hold. Pull your left hip back just a little bit. Hips are square. Now we're going to wake up that hamstring. So you're going to take that leg out, and you can keep the leg low if you need to. And you're going to bring that leg in. Extend that leg out. Bring the leg in. Let's do that 3 more times. 1, and back, and 2. Good job, you guys. 3, and down. And bring the leg down, bring the arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, float the arms down. One more time, inhale. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana, forward bend. So first forward bend of the practice. And you're going to feel the backs of the thighs lengthen. So there's going to be a lot of tightness in those hamstrings, just like we felt just a minute ago in the balancing posture we just did. Hold the pose. Now let's take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. Press the feet down. Now to rise up strong, activate the core. Pull the belly in strong, push the feet down, hug the thighs in, rise all the way up. Take the arms to the side and bring the arms all the way up. Now we're going all the way to the floor again. Use the strength of the abs and the hips and the legs, not the low back. And ready, and bow, Uttanasana, forward bend. Feel how strong your legs are. And we're going to rise up again. Push your feet down. Navel draws in. Strong legs and core. Bring you all the way up. Now bring the hands to Anjali Mudra and then pull the arms down. And notice as you pull the arms down with the fingers connecting, you'll feel more of a sense of the midline, right at the center of the body, right at the abdominal area where your strongest action is. Hands right here. Now release the arms down. Now we're going to do our first back bend, which is an arch. Go ahead and bring the arms all the way up. Glide your throat back, and I'm going to turn to this side, and you're going to do a slight arch in the upper back. Pull the navel in strong. Lift under the arms. Now take those shoulders back. Glide your throat back and lift the heart. Hold the pose. It's as if somebody's gently pulling your arms up as you press your feet down. So even though we're back bending, you're creating more length in the spine. Pull the belly in strong. Come all the way back up to neutral. Bring the arms down. And take a deep breath. Inhale, and we're going to bow forward again, Uttanasana, forward bend. Come all the way down, a healthy spine, both forward bends and back bends. Now just stay here for just a moment. And notice when we bow forward, in the forward bend, we tend to relax a little bit, which is good. It's very calming for the nervous system. But we got to stay really muscular so that we don't hurt our back. So we're going to do one-legged Uttanasana. So press your right foot into the floor really strong. The knee is slightly bent, and then you're going to kick your left leg back as high as you can. And you're going to hold the pose. You're going to feel the muscle action in that right leg. Hold. Now square the hips. Turn your left hip just a touch forward. You're still looking at the ground. Right knee is slightly bent. Breathe. Now bring that back leg all the way back to the floor. And we're going to rise all the way up. Tone the belly. Pull in strong. Come all the way up. Look straight ahead. And we're going to do that arch again. Lift under the arms and shoulders. Take the shoulders back. And then you're going to arch back any amount that feels comfortable this morning. You want this to feel good. No pain in that low back. Glide your throat back. Pull the belly in strong. Come all the way up and bring the arms all the way down. We're going to do Uttanasana again, forward bend, and we're going to lift that right leg back for the second side. Inhale, arms up, Exhale, bow, Uttanasana, forward bend. Make sure you exhale, breathe. And again, we're in the forward bend, so we tend to relax, and that's a good thing, but stay very strong in the legs and the abs. Now kick that right leg back as high as you can. Turn your right hip so that it's square with the mat, so we're not turning the hip out. Breathe. Press that left foot down. Feel your left, kind of the left side of the belly move away from the thigh so we're not collapsing. One more cycle of breath. Inhale, exhale, bring the leg down. Uttanasana, forward bend. We're going to rise all the way up. Hands to Anjali Mudra and pull the arms all the way down. Again, inhale, breathe. Exhale, bring the arms parallel. We're going to do star pose, our second one-legged balancing pose of the practice. Stand here, the palms face down, arms are parallel. Now take your upper arm bones deep into those shoulder joints. That way you'll feel the muscles activate between the shoulders. Now we're going to shift our weight to the right, and you're going to lift that left hip as high as you can, and hold. Press the foot down. Breathe. Okay, now we're going to challenge our brain a little bit. You're going to look over that right shoulder. Whoops. I haven't done this one in a while. And hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look back to the center. Bring your leg down. Bring the arms down. Arms up. We're going back to Utkatasana zigzag like we did at the beginning of practice. So drop into that squat position. Feel how strong those legs are. Look slightly towards the front, towards me. Lift the shoulders up more. And we're going to pulse for 5 again. Feel those hips and thighs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull the belly in, come all the way up. Arms down, feel the shoulders relax. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, arms to parallel. Second side star pose. Before we take off, notice how you start to feel the fatigue in the shoulders because the arms are pulling away. So we want the upper back area to get stronger, and we do that by pulling the upper arm bones deep into the shoulder joints, and that will help support the shoulders. Shift your weight to the left, lift your right hip as far as you can, and hold your pose. Breathe. Press that left foot down, and you're going to feel some burning in the side of the hip, and that's okay. This muscle right here tends to be weaker, so we're actually really strengthening that side hip. It's so important for our balance. Okay, here's the icing on the cake. Can you look over your shoulder and hold? Now lift that right hip higher. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring your leg in, bring the arms down, shoulders back. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Let the arms float down. Separate the feet a little more than hip width. We're going to do our first twisting posture. And hopefully you should be warming up by now. So bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. And remember again, when we press into Anjali Mudra, we feel the sense of the midline. This is where our core strength is. Drop into a little bit of a squat, not quite as much as Utkatasana. Hips face forward, so don't drop your hip back. And you're going to revolve, or actually turn towards the left and hold. So we're in a semi-squat position, and we've added a twist. So take your right hip back a little bit and keep that left hip forward. Hips and knees don't move. They face forward, and you feel the rotation or the twist right at the waistline. Now we're going to go all the way to the other side. Press your hands together, and you're going to sweep all the way to the other side. So now take your left hip back more. Notice how it tended to move forward. And take your right hip and touch forward. So that keeps the hips square. Knees are apart. That's so important. Don't let those knees collapse in. and hold. Feel how strong your waistline is. Pull your belly in. Now come all the way back to center. Come all the way up. Release the hands down. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Float the arms down. I'm going to turn to your right and come to the front of the mat. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana. First lunge pose. Let's take your left foot back. Hold the pose. First lunge of the practice. You're going to feel the tightness in the hips. Breathe. Now notice how we tend to collapse towards the mat. Lift the back leg strong. Push the ball of the foot to the floor. Now pull your front right hip back a little bit. And I'm on the same side as you are. So if you look at me, we're doing the same side. I'm not opposite of you. Hold the pose. Now we're going to activate the core. Bring your hands to your thigh. Pull your navel away from the thigh and just hold. 2, 3, 4. Hands to the mat. Go back to first plank and hold. Navel draws in. Lift the thighs and hips just a touch. Bend your elbows a little bit and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend your knees, walk forward. Go to Uttanasana, forward bend. Rise all the way up. And then float the arms down. We're going to do lunge, second side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana, forward bend. Right leg back, lunge, hold the pose. So again, the back leg tends to collapse. So lift the back thigh, come to spider fingers, pull your navel away from that left leg. Hold. Now pull your left front hip back a touch. Feel the hips are square. Now you're going to bring your hands to your thigh and just hold. And we're in a low lunge. Don't come up all the way. Just hold. So the idea is to feel how strong the abdominal area is so that we're not totally collapsing into that front hip. Place your hands on the mat. Let's go back to plank. Take the feet to the wide edges of the mat. Claw the floor. Lift the thighs and hips. And we're going to do our cross move for the obliques. And we do this every class. Take your right knee across and back. Cross and back. Cross. And keep going. So the idea is that you feel the obliques, the muscles under the rib cage on the sides. So the hips are lifting, navel stays drawn in, and you actually drop the hips just a touch as you cross, and you're going to feel that waistline. Okay, now same move. Let's go faster. And you can also do this on your knees. You could be on the knees, that's position 1, a little bit more supportive, or you can be in full plank like we are now. Let's go 4 more, fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to center, come down to the knees. Hands to the edges of the mat. First set of push-ups, because it is yoga for strength. So we have to do our push-ups. I'm sure you've been doing them at home. So the knees can be, you can be on your knees under the hips. Option 1, most supportive. Challenge yourself, go to option 2, or you can actually do a full push-up if you like. Irregardless of the position of your legs, you want the upper body position to be the same. Claw the floor, elbows slightly bent, pull the navel in strong, and you're going to drop the torso towards the mat, and then push the hands of the mat really strong and come back. Let's do 8 of those. Let's go. 1, going to do 8. 2, remember to breathe. 3, 4. Keep your head in line with your spine. Don't drop the head. And let's do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Bring your knees in. While we're here, we're going to do a couple sets or a couple repetitions for the triceps. So we want, this area is always harder to work. So bring the elbows in, fingertips face forward. This will prep us for chaturanga here in a minute. Walk the knees back, claw the floor, hug the elbows in, and you're going to drop the chest about halfway, and we're going to hold. Hug those elbows in. Head stays in line with the spine, shoulders back. Now pull the belly in strong. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now push away. Take the knees a little further back. We're going to do 6 push-ups now. So we're changing the arm position. When we move into push-ups, you're going to feel the chest and shoulders more. Hands apart, knees back, 6 push-ups. Let's go. 1, push, 2, 3, navel draws in, 4, 5, and 6. Good work. Tricep. Bring those arms in closer, fingertips forward. Hug those elbows in, and we're going to drop and hold again. So do you feel your triceps now? The muscle above the elbow, the back of the arm. Hold, hold, hold. Push away strong. You know what comes next. We're going to do some more push-ups. Now we're going to do 4. Take the hands to the edges of the mat. Let's go for 4. Don't rest. Go. 1, 2. Don't drop your head. 3, 4. Bring your arms in. Last set for the, kind of a chaturanga prep is what this is. Drop the elbows back. Hug the elbows in. Roll your shoulders back. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Push away. Take the knees apart. Stretch back. Pose of the child. So let those arms and shoulders have a little bit of a break. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale fully. Breathe. How we doing? So that was a little kind of an interval set, push-ups and tricep chaturanga prep. So that way you can feel the upper body. Come all the way up. Bring the knees in closer together. Chaturanga all the way to the floor. Elbows go back. Come all the way to the floor. Separate the feet a little wider than hip width. First cobra. Roll the shoulders back. Hug the elbows in. Glide the throat back. And just begin to arch back. First cobra. Look straight ahead. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. Now as we come out of cobra, we want to extend through the top of the head. So keep the length in the spine. Come all the way back down. Breathe. Now take your feet to the edges of the mat, so even wider. You're going to do cobra again. Shoulders back, and you feel those shoulders blades move down just a touch down the back. Hug your elbows in. Now come to spider fingers. Glide your throat back, and begin to just lift the fingers off the floor for just a few seconds. Can you feel how strong your upper back is? This is the movement we want to feel when we do cobra, the strength and the support of the upper back. Fingertips to the floor, and then begin to roll the shoulders back. Cobra, second time. And let's just stay here. Hold the pose. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Come all the way back down to the mat. Bring your legs in closer together. Reverse chaturanga, so it's our power move. Elbows in, shoulders back, navel draws in. Push yourself all the way back up to plank. Hold plank. Then back to downward dog and stretch. So it's our first dog pose of the practice, and it feels so good. So calming for the nervous system. Feel the length in the spine. Press your fingertips down. From your shoulders to your wrists, lift up. And then you pull the hips back towards the back edge of the mat. So it's as if you're gently being pulled in 2 different directions. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe. Breathe. Glide forward into plank. Come back down to the knees. While we're here, we're going to do another strength move. So bring your hands into the kind of a tripod position. We're going to do forearm plank. Elbows are right under the shoulders, and the hands are overlapped so that the wrist doesn't roll forward or back. You don't want that wrist to collapse. So the hands are overlapped. in, elbows under the shoulders, walk the knees back, pause here. So here's position 1. And if you want to challenge yourself, we're going to go to full forearm plank. So turn the toes under, come up, and hold the pose. Take a deep breath. Feel how strong your abs are. Pull your belly in strong. Hips and thighs are lifting. It's almost as if you feel the backs of the legs from the heels through the hips. They're more buoyant. They're lifting more upward, not collapsing. But it is a ton of work. It should feel like quite a bit of work. Press the forearms down, hold, breathe. Now bring your knees back down to the mat. Come back up to the hands, turn the toes under, back to downward dog, and enjoy the pose. So downward dog, it becomes kind of our active rest. There's a little less tension in the body. We've shifted the weight back so we don't feel as much work and effort in the shoulders and arms. Eyes are open wide. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. Bend your knees, walk forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Rise all the way up. Hands to Anjali Mudra. Breathe. Stay at the front of your mat, and you're still perpendicular to me. We're going to do Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Look straight ahead, and you're going to take that left leg back. So you're going to take a really big step, and this is one of our most challenging standing poses, Warrior 1. Both strengthens and releases the hips at the same time. Lift that back heel, press into the ball of the foot. Lift that back thigh. Put your hands on your hips. Pull your front hip back and take your back hip forward. Hips are square. Roll the shoulders back. Look straight ahead. Breathe. Now pull your navel in. Feel your torso move back to the center a little bit. And then we're going to bring the arms up. Full pose. Warrior 1. Breathe. Breathe. Now drop your front sitting bone right here. Drop it down an inch. Lift your back thigh, shoulders back, arch back if you like, and hold. Hold the pose, breathe. Relax your face. Now to come out safely, be super strong. Bring the arms down, navel draws in, and then rock forward. Use the strength of this front hip and the core, foot on the ground. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale and float the arms down. Notice how one hip feels different than the other. Stay where you are. I'm going to turn this way for the second side so you can see me. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Now you're going to take your right foot back. And just take a moment to kind of settle into the pose, find your balance. And you can always grab a chair if you need to for this pose. Lift the back thigh. Now notice this front hip tends to hike up. So drop that sitting bone down. Front knee tracks to the left a little bit. Don't let it collapse. Roll the shoulders back. It's actually a little bit of a back bend. Navel draws in. Look straight ahead. Recharge the legs. Lift that back leg. Now take the arms all the way up. Glide your throat back. Hold the pose. Press the feet down. Now drop that front sitting bone an inch. Lift your back thigh. Hold 4 more counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring the arms down. And again, you're going to use the strength of the hip and the abs to bring you forward. Step forward. Tadasana. Pause here. Good work. That's a very, very muscular pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, float the arms down. I'm going to come to this side again. Inhale. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana, forward bend. Take your left foot back, lunge. We're going to do Parva to Parshvanasana. Bring your left hand close to the foot. Right the navel through the top of the head, revolve and hold the pose. Roll that top shoulder back. So we're going to stay here for a few counts. Drop the front hip because it's going to hike up. Drop the hip down. Lift that back thigh. So it's just like Warrior One that we just did. We've changed the shape and the position of the upper body, but our foundation is the same as Warrior One. We have to be just as strong. Roll those shoulders back. Now press down through the bottom of the hand. Feel yourself lift away. Take the top arm up. Glide your throat back. You can look up if you'd like. Now hold your pose. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to unwind, but don't collapse. Pull your belly in. Come back, face the mat. Drop that back knee and breathe. Now we're going to do a little bit of a hamstring releasing move here. You're on spider fingers and you're going to pull the hips back. The pressure is on the front heel. So you've lifted your toes and you're going to feel incredible intensity and tightness in this hamstring. If you don't, I can't even imagine not feeling this. So it's going to be tight no matter what. So hold the pose. Now we're going to take the hips and we're going to move forward into a little bit of a what we call an Warden-Exercise posture, but it's not quite the full posture. Now you're going to pull the front hip back a little bit and lunge a little deeper and feel or allow this knee to track over the toes. It's a very intense hip release. Now our move is going to look like this. We're going to pull back for the hamstring, and notice I've got my back toes turned under there. Feel that hamstring, and we want to move from the hips. That way we don't hurt that hamstring or that knee. Now we're going to press forward again, and now we're going to look up. We're on spider fingers. Keep your back foot turned under, and we're going to come all the way up to Warden-Exercise, shoulders back, and this is very, very intense in the hips. So breathe, try not to hold your breath, and you can take your arms up if you'd like. Pull your front hip back. Now to come out safely, use the strength of the core. Pull your belly in strong, come all the way down. Back up to lunge, let's go to plank. And that hip's going to feel so much better. To the knees, chaturanga. Cobra, take your time. Breathe. Come out of cobra. Reverse chaturanga, being super strong. Come up, plank. Back to downward dog. Enjoy the pose. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. We're going to do the second side. Look between your hands. Now swing your left foot forward. Warden-Exercise. Stay there. I'm going to switch so you can see me. Don't move. Hold your pose. Now bring your right hand in, left hand on the waistline, and from the navel through the top of the head. Revolve. Let's take that top arm up and hold your pose. Breathe. Now press your feet down. Stay with it. We're going to stay here for a little bit. Let this front hip drop down and touch, and then lift that back thigh. Roll the shoulders back. Glide your throat back. Look up if you'd like. Now notice we're collapsing on that right hand. So pull your belly in and move your body a little more into the center, to the left. It's more challenging. Breathe. Breathe. Now slowly unwind. Place the hands down. Drop the back knee. And we're going to do that hamstring release. And remember, we move from the hips, not driving with the knee. So move from here, not here. So pull those hips back. Feel that hamstring lengthen. It's going to be super tight. My back foot is turned under for a little bit of support. Now we're going to move the hips forward into the hip flexor release. And it's going to be really, really intense. You're going to feel the hip muscles both in the front. Then as we pull back, you're going to feel that hamstring as we pull back. Now let's go forward again. This time we're going to stay here for Anjaneyya Asana. So there's a little bit more balance involved. Back foot turned under, bring your hands up, pause here. And as you can feel, it's kind of a position where you feel really vulnerable. The hips are really releasing in the psoas. You feel the inner thigh and the front leg. Now you can take the arms up if you'd like, or keep the arms down. Look straight ahead. Press your feet down. Come all the way to the mat. Lift up for lunge. Back to plank. Let's flow through the vinyasa. Down to the knees. Shoulders back. All the way to the mat. Cobra or upward dog. Come out of cobra. Reverse chaturanga. Plank. Back to downward dog. And let's take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe. Bend your knees. Walk forward. Uttanasana. Forward bend. Rise all the way up. Arch back. Hands to Anjali Mudra. Good work, you guys. But we're not done. Grab your weights. Grab a sip of water if you'd like. Got a little bit more work to do. So notice after Parvrita Parsvakonasana and Warrior, the hips feel more open. Grab your weights, and we're going to do our lunge back with a hammer curl. I'm going to turn to this side so you can see me. Look straight ahead, shoulders back and slightly down. Belly draws in, and you're going to drop into that first lunge. And take your time. There's no rush. And back, together. Back, together. Step back. And again, keep going. Slow control. Notice how your brain wants to rush and get it over with. But slow down a little bit. That way you have to work a little bit harder on the balance. Step back. Center. Back. Just like that. And back. Okay, let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pause, shoulders back slightly down. I'm going to turn this way, palms forward, and we're going to do side lunges alternating. So it's side, back to center. Let's go. Side, keep the shoulders back. Side. Center, side, big wide steps, hips stay back, navel draws in, and side, side. Okay, let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to center. I'm going to turn back this way. We're going to do squat with overhead press. Don't take a break. Again, set those shoulders. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's so important. Because what happens is, if I don't remind you, and this is true for myself, we'll start to do this while we're doing our exercises. So the shoulders stay back and slightly down. Bring the arms up, elbows forward. Light grip, so fingers are loose. Drop into that imaginary chair, squat position, and then you're going to power up. So it's down, press, down, press, down, press, and down. Breathe. Head in line with your spine. And notice my torso is a similar angle as my lower leg bone. So I'm not bending too far forward, and I'm not totally upright. Let's do 4 more. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and down. Weights down. Turn your mat parallel. Come to the center of the mat. Take a wide stance. And again, don't take a break. Heart rate will be up a little bit, but that's good. Wide stance. Pause here. Now take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale, breathe. Turn your left foot in, right foot out. So now I'm mirroring you. Arms up. Warrior two. Look over your front right arm. Take your attention to your front right hip and drop that hip as low as you can. The knee tracks over the toes. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Pull your torso back to the center a little bit and put a little weight on that back left leg. Breathe. Glide your throat back. Now keep your lower body in the same position and we're going to arch back for a reverse warrior. Bring your back, left arm down. Lift the front arm, arch back. Breathe. Push your feet down. Drop your front hip an inch. Make sure the back knee is slightly bent. Now take your front right shoulder back an inch. Breathe. And come up, arms parallel. Straighten the front leg. Turn your feet parallel, wide stance. Bring the arms down. Inhale. And exhale, breathe. Second side, turn your right foot in, left foot out. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Arms up. Look over your front left arm. Take your attention to your front hip and drop that hip as low as you can. The knee will track over the toes. Warrior 2. Breathe. Breathe. Press the feet down. Now pull your waistline back into the middle just a touch. Hold the pose. Now drop the back right arm and you're going to arch back, reverse warrior. Inhale and exhale. Drop your front left hip an inch. Now take your front left shoulder back. It's a very intense release for that psoas, your hip flexor. Breathe. Now to come up safely, be super strong. Push your feet down, pull the belly in, straighten your front leg, arms up, bring the arms down, turn the feet parallel, step the feet together, grab your weights. Don't take a break. I'm going to turn to the side, lunge back, just like we did in the very first set. Let's go, back. Step back, together. And again, don't rest. Step together. You might even be breaking a sweat now. And drop. Drop those hips. Drop. You want to feel all the work in the front hip and thigh, not the knee joint. It's as if you're shifting your weight back with each lunge, hammer curl at the same time. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, don't hold your breath. 3, and 4. Back to center. Palms forward, side lunges. Let's go to the left. Side. Side. Keep going. Pump the arms. And again, notice how the shoulders start to pull forward. So keep them back as you drop into the squat. Let's go. Side. Center. Side. 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 Drop those hips. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the center. I'll turn to the side. Squat with the overhead press. Don't take a break. Arms up. Elbows forward. Shoulders back. Let's go. Down. Press. Keep your chin parallel with the floor. Don't lift your head. Down. This is our last set. Down. Remember to breathe. And down. Let's do 4 more. You're dead. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice work, you guys. Put the weights down. Back to the mat. Tadasana. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Float the arms down. So heart rate will be up a touch. That's okay. Inhale. Exhale. Float the arms down. Wide stance. And breathe. Make sure the feet are parallel. Knees are slightly bent. Shin bones a touch forward. That's the lower leg bone. Shoulders back. Now turn the left foot in, right foot out, arms up. We're going to do Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Navel draws in, and as we side bend, we want to use the strength of the core to carry us over. So we're not just pushing forward, we're actually using the muscle strength to move us into the side bend. So come on over, triangle pose, shoulders back. The front knee is slightly bent. Breathe. Glide your throat back. If you want to go deeper and make it more challenging, you can turn your head and look up. Make sure your neck feels okay in that position. Hold the pose. Now press your back, left foot down, and feel your whole left side lift upwards. Shoulders stay back. Breathe. Now look straight ahead. I'm going to do a deeper hip stretch. Turn your palm towards your head and take the arm over the head. Take that top shoulder back. Breathe. And we're going to rise up. Push your feet down. Come all the way up. Right into Goddess Warrior. So the front leg is straight. So it's different than reverse warrior. Try not to hold your breath. Roll those shoulders back. Push your feet down. And then come all the way up. Arms parallel. Let the arms come down. Turn your right foot in, left foot out. And there's a little bit of head rush. That's a lot of movement that we just did, putting the body into different shapes. So there's a lot of opening and releasing, as well as being really strong. So when we come out, there is a little bit of a head rush. So we just breathe, kind of reset ourselves by pushing our feet down. And let's bring the arms up. Second side, Utthita Trikonasana. Navel draws in and then side bend. And hold your pose. And remember, one side of the body is going to feel quite different than the other. The one side's going to be a little weaker or less stable. And that's completely normal. Shoulders back. Breathe. If you'd like, you can look up. That's optional. Push your feet down. Shoulders stay back. Push your back, right foot down. Feel your whole right side lift up. Now look towards the front and turn your palm towards your head. And we're going to add that deeper stretch for that hip. Do you all feel that in that back hip? Breathe. And then be really strong and stable. Push your feet down, tone the belly, pull in. And in one motion, all the way to Goddess Warrior. So arch back. Look at the ceiling. Make sure that back knee is slightly bent. Take your front hip bone, your sitting bone, down about an inch. Now take that left shoulder back more. Breathe. And then slowly come up. Arms parallel, face the center. Turn your feet parallel and bring your hands to your hips. And breathe. We're going to do wide angle forward bend. You're going to feel a big release in the hamstrings and the inner thighs. Push your feet down, hands on the hips. And if your hamstrings are really tight and this feels very vulnerable or kind of precarious, then put your hands on your thighs and kind of walk yourself down. Bend your knees a little or a lot. And if this feels quite comfortable, comfortable, you can just draw the chest more and more towards the floor. Knees are slightly bent. Eyes are open. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. Now to rise up, be super strong. Or actually, while we're here, we're going to do an intense inner thigh stretch. Bend your knees and slowly begin to shift your body to the left a little bit. I'm on spider fingers. Now you're going to come to the inner edge of your right foot. Knees are slightly bent, and you're going to drop down. Now my heel on this left foot is lifting, okay? And can you all feel that? That's super, super intense. Big inner thigh release. And then come up to center. Go very, very slow. Again, it's a very vulnerable stretch. You feel those inner thighs, those hamstrings, and you want to make sure this straight leg, that knee is slightly bent, and you can lift your heel on this leg or have the heel down, just so you feel like you're safe. You're not going to fall. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's come all the way back up to center. Come to spider fingers. Bend your knees a lot and very carefully step the feet together. And let's come all the way up, shoulders back. Good work. That's a very intense release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, float the arms down. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale, float the arms down. Come to the right side of your mat, face forward. And we're going to do 4 sun salutations. We're almost done. So we're going to do serving on the scar, salute to the sun. Now you can just kind of let your mind relax a little bit. Just flow with the breath, remembering to connect the breath with the movement. So let your mind just relax a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana, forward bend. Left leg back, lunge. Flow to plank. To your knees, chaturanga. Cobra, take your time. Reverse chaturanga, plank. Back to downward dog, stretch. Bend your knees, walk forward, Uttanasana. Rise up, remember to breathe. Inhale, exhale, bow. Left leg back, lunge. Flow to plank. To your knees, chaturanga. Cobra, take your time. Come out of cobra, reverse chaturanga, plank, downward dog. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Look between your hands. Lift the hips up, come up on the balls of the feet, and give a big swing and bring that left leg forward. Lunge, step forward. Rise up, and then bring the arms down. Actually, we're just going to do 2 of those because I want to do both poses. We're almost out of time. Changing my mind. So come back to the center of the mat and face, your feet are going to face the right. So boat pose, Navasana, lots of core strength. It also strengthens the back. Place your hands on your shins. Shoulders up and slightly back so you feel those shoulder blades drop just a little bit. Navel in towards the spine. Now feel like your head is connected. It's like there's a straight line from your head all the way to the hips. So in other words, my head's not doing this or back. It's one straight line. Everything moves in unison. So drop the torso back a little bit, head in line with the spine, glide your throat back. Remember to breathe. Now lift the toes, press the heels down. Now really pull that belly in strong. Now notice how we start to collapse. So lift the heart. Feel the hint of the curve in the lower back. Navel draws in. Lift the arms. Now bring your legs in. Bring the legs up. Touch the feet together. Bow pose. Let's just balance. Stay here. Breathe. Breathe. Now from right at the center of the heart, lift up, keep those shoulders back. Breathe. So we still have the same spine position. You feel the hint of the curve, the navel draws in, and we're going to do boat pose. One more time, let's go. Come back, lift up, feet together, full pose. Hold for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feet down, lift up from the heart. Don't collapse in the low back. And know this is a lot of work. Pull the belly in, and then let the arms come all the way down. Good work. Face forward, cross the legs in a comfortable position. Sit up straight, and we're just going to do an easy torso twist. Now, as I sit here, this position, it always looks so easy, but for all of us, we feel a lot of tightness in this position. So you don't want to get too lax because you don't want to hurt the hips or the knee joints. So the outer edge of the foot is pressing down in both feet. So don't let those ankles collapse. Shoulders back, head over the shoulders. Now take your left arm back and do an easy twist to the left. Breathe. Keep taking your left hip forward a little bit. This is really good for your low back. Roll the shoulders back a little bit. Eyes are open. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. Slowly unwind. Take your feet out, knees are bent, and just walk your feet out a little bit. And then come back to the cross-legged position. Again, this always looks like an easy pose, but it's quite challenging just to sit on the floor with the legs crossed. Requires a lot of hip opening. Outer edges of the feet pressing down, shoulders back, glide your throat back, and then begin to do an easy torso twist to the right. Now take your right hip forward an inch, left hip back. Eyes are open. Inhale and exhale, breathe. You don't want any pain in the low back in an easy torso twist. Now unwind, come over, pose the child. So finally we get to relax a little bit. We're not working anymore. Good job, you guys, you did great. Knees apart, tops of the feet down, that's a little more restful. Let those elbows and shoulders collapse, and then take your forehead to the floor if that's comfortable for you. If not, put your forehead on your hands like this. So just bow. Pranam literally means to bow. It's the name of the pose. And let those shoulders collapse. And go ahead and come up, and go ahead and turn over and lay on your back. So come onto your back. Shoulders release into the back of the mat. The backs of the legs release into the mat. If this is uncomfortable for you, feel free to bend your knees. In fact, everybody bend your knees for a second. Knees apart, feet are on the floor, and you're going to rock back and forth. So we're going to do some very easy windshield wipers side to side, and let those hips be really relaxed, very fluid. In all of our poses this morning, we're very muscular, we're very stable, we're very supportive. Now we can relax a little bit and be a little looser and more fluid. So rock side to side, and then come back to center. Bring your knees up towards your chest, and put your hands on the front of the kneecaps, and you're just going to rock back and forth. Just little small movements. You feel the curve in the small of the back, and then as you pull the hips forward a little bit, that curve lessens. But just an easy, it's kind of a little low back massage above the tops of the backs of the hips. And now put your hands on your knees, separate the feet, and make circles. So you're actually drawing circles on the ceiling. So the knees, they make the circle pattern away from each other. And the hips are loose, and now make the circle pattern in the opposite direction. And go ahead and connect the big toes if you like. And just really, we did a lot of hip strengthening in our warrior poses today. So this will loosen the hips. Now let each foot come to the floor, collapse into the mat, and close your eyes. And we're going to take just a couple minutes to let the body fully release into the support of the mat. Now that your nervous system, your brain senses the strength, the stability, and the balance in the body that you've created in the past hour, your nervous system can finally let go and calm down. Eyes are closed. You're in a very comfortable position. And remind yourself this is exactly where you're supposed to be at this point in time. Everything waits for you out off the mat. Just give yourself a couple minutes to let your body just bask in that increased blood flow. It's the best medicine there is, that increased blood flow. Eyes are closed. Your face is relaxed. There's no tension in the jaws or around the eyes. And if you start to tense up, then just collapse back into the mat. Be very, very heavy. And we're going to take a moment or two. We're going to connect the breath with the thoughts. So in our practice, we connected the breath with the movement. Now to let go and deepen a little bit. In other words, let yourself just relax and let go a little bit more. You're going to connect the breath with the thoughts. So as a thought occurs, inhale, and then exhale, and feel yourself pull back from the activity of the mind a little bit. So again, as you think of, oh, I should be at the grocery store, breathe in, and then exhale. And even if the thought doesn't disappear, kind of that charge, either positive or negative, behind that thought will lessen. So in other words, the mind's job is to think. That never goes away. But can we decrease and pull back a little bit from that constant cycle of thinking? There's always a charge associated, either good or bad, and that takes a toll on our sense of well-being. So inhale as you have a thought, and then exhale. For the next few moments, be very quiet and just connect your breathing with the flow of the mind. And feel yourself collapse into the mat. Inhale as you feel the thoughts come up, and all you have to do is exhale. The thoughts may or may not go away, but you will feel a little bit of distance. And that distance feels good. There's a little bit of space between your thought patterns and your actual breathing. Just breathe. Open your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees. Come over. Let's do pose of a child again. And certainly, if you've got time this morning, Feel free to turn off the video and just continue to lie in Shavasana and breathe. But if you gotta get up and get going, come on over into pose of the child, bow, and come up to hands and knees, the all fours position, and just swing your hips side to side, swing your shoulders a little bit, again be a little looser, and then come back to center. Bring one foot forward at a time, Uttanasana, forward bend. Make sure it's comfortable, no pain in the back. Hamstrings, the backs of the thighs are okay. Bend your knees and your eyes are open now. And breathe. And place one hand on your hip, and then come up, up, up. I can tell I haven't taught class in a while. My thoughts are kind of jumbled. So come to Tadasana, shoulders back. And let's take 2 deep breaths. Inhale, sweep, exhale. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. Good work, you guys. Thank you so much for doing Yoga for Strength, class number 2. I miss you guys, and it really is a big question mark when we will be together again. But in the meantime, we're here through the internet connection, so that's good. So hope everybody's doing well. And we here at the Senior Center, we miss you guys, but we love feeling connected through our videos. And if you feel like you want to make a donation to the Senior Center, just go to the website, and we will continue to put out videos as long as we need to so that we can stay in touch with you guys. And hopefully I'll see you guys out on the trails or on the bike path soon. Bye.